Hello and welcome, my name is Ansu. If you're new here, consider subscribing down below. It is spooky season, but it also means that we read all kinds of cozy fantasy thrillers and all that kind of stuff, so here we are. I'm not really into horror books necessarily, so fantasy, thrillers, and any kind of coziness is what we're looking for. The first one I have is a very highly anticipated book that I had for this year, and that is The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. I'm so excited to hold this in my arms right now. I've already started reading this and I'm 30 pages in. I'm very excited about it. I think we are in the same world as The Darker Shades of Magic. And that series I think I read like 5 years ago. It's been a really long time and I don't really remember the last details of that series really. It follows around 4 different types of London. We have White London, Red London. Can't really remember what London is like corresponding to each. But one of the places have some magic, some other places do not have any magic, and it's completely in ruins. Not everybody can travel between these Londons, even though they all exist at the same time. We have these people, these types of people called Antari, that can travel between these Londons. And one of our main characters in those books was Kel. Kel is also like a very good friend of the monarch of White London, and he's also a smuggler, so he goes between these Londons and smuggles things out. So it's a very interesting series overall in that, and I think we're following this book around after a few years from those books. So after a desperate attempt to prevent corruption and ruin in the 4 Londons, there are only 3. So Grey London, surviving but barely able to remember its magical heritage; Red London, ruled lately by the Naresh family, flourishing and powerful; and White London, left to brutality and decay. Oh, sorry, so the monarch is in Red London, my bad. That's where Kel is originally from. Now the worlds are going to collide anew, brought to be a dangerous precipice by the discoveries of 3 remarkable magicians. There's Kosika, the child queen of White London, who has nourished her city on blood and dreams, and whose growing devotion to both is leading her down a dangerous path. Then there's Delilah Bard, who is also there in the first series that I was talking about. And she's a born thief in Grey London who crossed the worlds to become a legend far from there. She's an infamous magician, a devious heroine, and a risk-taking rogue, all rolled into one unforgettable package. Having disappeared to seek a new adventure, an old favorite now calls Lila back to a dangerous port to join some old friends who need more help than they even realize. Last, there is Tess, a young runaway with an unusual and powerful ability, hiding out in Red London while trying to stay out of the limelight. Tess is the only one who can keep all the worlds from unraveling if she manages to stay alive first. That's essentially what we're following around the series, and I'm very, very excited about this. But also, can we get a round of applause for this book cover, because I think it's absolutely freaking gorgeous. But not just that, when you open the book, like seriously? Oh my goodness. And then you take the dust jacket off. We have this cool foiling situation going on. Beautiful. And then inside the dust jacket, there's a whole book cover is kind of there, and it's also showing you the new covers of those old books. Very, very cool, and I'm very excited to get to this book. Next up, I want to read The Only One Left by Riley Sager. This is a thriller, so we're following around this old woman. It has been told that she had murdered her family a bunch of years ago. She's like living in this mansion place on top of a cliff essentially, and this caregiver that's taking care of her kind of ran away, and this new person comes over, and this woman is in a wheelchair. She can't talk, so she's literally typing out sentences to the caregiver, or this home health aide called Kit, and she's like, I'll tell you the entire story of what happened back then, and basically says that I didn't kill my family, and she's explaining the story. But Kit soon realizes that there's much more to the story that this old lady is not really saying, and there's like sinister things that's going on, and this old lady might just be hiding things and just not telling her the truth about some of the matters. And I think this can be very bone-chilling and interesting. I've heard really good things about this story that I'm really, really thrilled to get to it. Next one, I had actually gotten an uncorrected proof. It released in November last year. I just never read it, and it is 17 Last Man Standing by John Brownlow. This one essentially follows around assassins. It's like, I want to say like MI6, maybe not, but that's the vibes that I'm getting. If you want to be the last man standing, you have to kill your previous best assassin. So this is number 17. He has to kill 16. And that's the hunt that is happening. It is known that the next one, like the number 18, will definitely hunt 17, but that's like a story for later. I don't really know what else this is supposed to be. But it's an assassin story, and I think it can be very interesting, very action-packed, and I really wanted to get to it. I just saw it on my shelf, and I was like, maybe I will enjoy this. I should try to pick it up. So I do have this in the back burners. I definitely want to try to get to this one. The next one I want to talk about is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. Again, this is a book I bought a really long time ago, just never got around to it. And I think it's more like dark academia. We're following around like 6 different characters, and there's some really cool pictures in here. I had actually started reading this. Jeez. Okay. I don't remember it. Anyway, every single decade, only like 6 really talented magicians kind of get into this school, I think. And from my understanding, they will get killed along the process, and only the top 6 gets into this place. It's like a fight for their lives, and they get into the society. And it sounds very, what is it called, Ninth House-like, but I'm hoping it's not as disgusting because I did not like Ninth House. We'll see how this one goes. I'm really looking forward to reading it, and I do have the audiobook from Libby, so I'm really excited to get to it. Another book that I want to try to read this month is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I have started reading, or like rather listening to the audiobook for this one. We have Jack, who hasn't set foot in Cadence in like 10 years. Very happy like studying music across in a mainland university, and he has been called back into Cadence because there's some young girls who are going missing for some reason, and he's trying to like solve that mystery of like what is going on, why they're getting stolen away from their houses and all that kind of stuff. Adira, who's the heiress of the East and also Jack's longtime enemy, knows that the spirits only answer to Bard's music, which Jack was known for, and she hopes that Jack can draw them forth with this song and entice them to return these missing girls. Jack and Adira kind of reluctantly start working with each other, and they realize that they're better served as allies than being enemies. I think there's a romance going on as well, also an adult fantasy romance, so I'm very excited for this. I have really not been picking up any kind of fantasy, but this month I've been really into it, and I'm very excited to get to this one. I've heard really wonderful things about it. Super pumped. The last one I want to try to get to is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I have tried reading this book like 4 or 5 times maybe, and I just haven't been getting into it. This is a very low stake fantasy. We have this ogre, I think, who has been killing for the longest time, and she's really tired of it and wants to just chill, completely change up her reputation. She ends up opening up a coffee shop, and it's the story of that, I think. And I've heard wonderful things about this. It's supposed to be very cozy, and I do want to read something like that, but I feel like I've not been into it. I can't wrap my head around it for some reason, but I think this is the month. This is the month that I could potentially finally finish this book, and I'm very excited for it. We'll see if I'll actually do it. You can hold me accountable for it. This is less than 300 pages. 254 pages, and there are some like extra stories if you wanted to read it. 254 pages. That's nothing really if I set my mind to it, but will I set my mind for it? Let's see. This is the month we'll find that out. And that's it, you guys. Those are all the books I would like to read in October. I know it's kind of a hefty load, but I'm very hopeful that I can actually get to all of them. Yeah, that's it, really. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Ansu. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all next time with another one. Until then, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye!